Yeah, King Crush was fucking amazing. Okay. Hello YouTube. What's going on, dude? It's Kolosalus here. And today, after the last arena I showed you guys on YouTube's, my friend is complaining about the Undertaker combos. So anyway, yeah, so today I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more inside tips of how I play Arena, even though you see that I kind of suck at Arena anyway. No, I don't suck, but I kind of bought too many packs one day. I was kind of drunk playing with some friends, I bought too many packs, and that's how I ended up with almost 0 gold. So you have a choice of Cooldown, Garrosh, or Hellscream, or Malfurion. Malfurion is one of the best, in my opinion, is one of the best classes in Arena. Mostly because of its basic cards. It has a a nice Iron Bark. It has a Druid of the Claw, which is amazing. Even when it comes out as a 4/4, it's okay. Garrosh is okay, but it's too dependent on the weapons, so I do not like to play him. Only when I don't get a good draw. And Gul'dan, again, it's kind of your draft, not really draw, but draft dependent. And I don't know. It's just you have to get a lot of good cards in order to do good with Gul'dan. So I'm just gonna go with Malfurion because I very much enjoy playing with Malfurion. So right off the bat, we get an epic card, and another reason why I like Druid is because it's the only class that has good epic cards, and it's because it has Ancient of Lore and Ancient of War. And if you see Ancient of Lore, Ancient of War in any of your drafts, just insta pick it. It's better than any giant. It's better than Shade and Blood Knight. But I think Ancient of Lore is better than Ancient of War. So I would have been happier than, and I would have been happier if people in chat are fuck alert. Zoo with Belchuk, happy times. I'll be happier to see Ancient of Lore, but Ancient of War is still good. Okay, Silverback Patriarch is a trash card. It just doesn't have enough attack for 3 mana. A 4-drop is good here, a 2/7, but I'm gonna choose Darkseer Healer because it is a good 4/5 mana, so it's okay. Plus, it actually it heals you and the other minions, so it's good. It's good when you're playing the control game, which is what I always want to do in Arena. Okay, so here we have a Moonfire, Abusive Sergeant, and Kobold Geomancer. Moonfire I consider to be a trash card. It's basically a worse backstab. I never pick it. Really never pick it. Maybe I should someday, but not now. Abusive Sergeant is okay. I'm actually considering the Kobold Geomancer because when I drop this with a swipe, it's gonna get really nice. So I still don't have a swipe, but I think I'm gonna go for this guy anyway. Okay, it's a very easy pick here. Poison Seeds is a trash card. Easily one of the worst cards in whole game, not just next round, but in whole game. Priestess of Elune is a 5/4 for 6 mana, so it's sometimes good, but not in this situation. The 4/4 plus 2/2, which is a 6/6 for 5 mana, is actually much better. There we go. We get our first Druid of the Claw. It's kind of painful because I have to pick it over the Cult Master, but so I have to basically get some other ways to draw next, but Druid of the Claw is just an amazing pick, amazing 5 mana minion. So I have another Darkscape Healer, which I don't actually need to, but a 4/5 for 5 mana isn't actually that great. So is not the 4/4 for 5 mana. I'm not going to be rushing down the opponent. So 3 damage, it doesn't really matter to to somebody's face. Sometimes it does, but not in this situation. So I'm gonna pick the Spellbreaker, which is a good minion, a 4/3 plus it silences like the Van Cleef, like the crazy like questing adventure plays or something like that. It's just easy silence. Okay, you might think that I would like to take Undertaker here, but it's actually very rare that you get a Death Rattle synergy in Arena, because you're getting random cards. They're actually very rare. So Undertaker is actually a very low pick in Arena. Archer Squire is okay here, but even better is Jungle Panther, which basically gives you a choice of what you want to kill. It's like for 3 mana, deal 4 damage next turn, and and that's it. And you have a choice of it's only not good against Shaman and Paladin, who have Consecration and who have Lightning Storm and Consecration respectively. But it's still a very good 4/2 minion. It can almost almost trade with any of the even 5 drops. So here we have a Voodoo Doctor. I think it would be better if it would be a 1/2 instead of a 2/1. So it suffers the same, the same principle as the other 1 mana minions who have 1 health. They can basically die to, even to my own hero power. They can die to any guys that can deal 1 damage with a hero power. Same with Abusive Sergeant. It's okay to buff your minion and then remove something really big, but in this situation, Stormwind Champion is just too much value because it buffs all of your guys instead of just 1 person, and yeah, just too much value. So this is very painful, very very painful. I would love to take the Worgen because it's just so good to drop on turn 1 and see them suffer as their turn 2 play is getting destroyed by your turn 1 play, but unfortunately the swipe is impossible because it's just too much of a good clear. This deck is actually looking very good so far. Starpoint Commando is okay. If I didn't have those 2 cards, I would definitely pick this because it's a good removal, but for now swipe wins. It's a good aerial removal. So Master Swordsmith is not bad, but it's worse than those 2 cards. It only has 1 damage, so that's why I'm pretty much discarding it. I can get like a Sun Fury Protector for the same amount of mana and have 1 more attack. Wild Pyro is actually, I think, is my pick here. So I'll talk about Sun Fury Protector first. So far, I'm not gonna get a lot of value from the Sun Fury, as I have minions which are mainly made for removal or trading, or already have taunt, Druid of the Coalition of War. This guy's gonna be trading and silencing. This guy's gonna be only trading. This one's only gonna be trading and swipe arena sheet. Stalog, Falcon, KT, Shade, Cover Opening, Undertaker, Mitvara. Yeah, so Wild Pyro is the shit here because you have for example with the swipe, you drop the Wild Pyro, you drop the swipe, and it does it's basically like it's almost like a spell damage +1 plus you get a minion, so it's pretty good, especially in this deck. It is actually a very bad draw. 2 mana, 2/2 is the worst. Almost one of the worst picks because it just is. It's just a 2 mana 2/2. We don't have any secrets, so that's what it is. 1 mana 1/2 is a very big rookie trap. You think, oh my god, 1 mana 1/2, I can drop it to first turn and it's going to protect me for for at least 1 turn. No, not really, because Girls Fire Footman it just doesn't have enough damage. All right, Higbig, see you in a sec. But in this one, I'm gonna choose the Voodoo Doctor. It has the same attack value. Yes, I said that the 1 health minions are really bad in the arena because they're bad, because they are. But it's better than those 2 guys. Plus, it can heal me or one of my minions anyway. As I said in my previous arena, I don't like Dancing Swords. It gives your opponent a card after he trades. Hopefully, it's not gonna be a favorable trade for him, but he still gets a card. Naturalize is a joke of a card. I used to think that it's a very good card, but giving your opponents two more cards to play is just sometimes a game losing. So I stopped to even if I have to, I run one. But if I don't have to, I just if I don't get them at all, I'm not sad or anything. But my pick here is the Brewmaster. I can bounce back a lot of things like, you know, the Spellbreaker, the Dark Scale, the Druid of the Claw sometimes, and just all the different stuff. Plus it's a 5/4 for 4 mana, so it's always value. Okay, Naturalize is nothing, you know, to cry about. Iron Big Owl, we already have a silence, so plus a 2/1, you know, it suffers the same thing, you know, it only has 1 health. Claws is the choice here because it's a very nice remover, you know, for 3 mana, you can do the Claw hero power and you can remove their 3 or 2 or 3 drop. It's easily one of the better removals from Druid. Silverback Patriarch again, I talked about it, it doesn't have enough attack. Soul of the Forest, it could be value sometimes, but this deck seems like it's going to be more geared toward the late game, so I'm not going to have a lot of minions on the board to give the Soul Forest to. And the Savage Roar might actually come into play, because it also gives attack to you, not just to your minions. So I think this is going to be the pick. So we have a tough choice here. We have a Wild Growth, so if we get this turn 2, we might ramp up to, you know, to play the later minions. But if we don't get it turn 2, it's almost like a dead card in our hand for the rest, almost for the rest of the game up until turn 10, where we will be able to draw a card from it. Dragon Mechanic is okay. It has the stats of a Yeti, but it has this 2/1, which I don't like. An Elven Archer which does 1 damage, so you can. But I can already do 1 damage, you know. This is actually a pretty tough choice. I think I'll take the ramp. I'll take the ramp. It is a risky play, but I don't like any of those 2 guys. You know, I can already deal 2 damage, and this 2/1 is just not good enough. Okay, Mark of Nature is an okay card if you have the good minions to put it on. I don't really have anything good, so it's not a good pick for me. Mogushan Warden is okay, but again it suffers of this like issue of having only 1 attack, so not really. Argent Squire is a good 1/1 drop. You know, it trades with most 1 drops plus sometimes 2 drops as well, because it has a Divine Shield. So this is the pick here. Okay, Mortal Raider is kind of shitty here. I don't like it at all, almost. Booty Bay Bodyguard is a 5/4 for 5 mana, so it's okay, but because it has more attack than health, I consider it to be an aggressive taunt, which it should not appear in the game at all. So I think in here I'm just gonna pick the Geomancer. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana plus a spell damage, so we don't have many spells, but I guess like if you have 2 of those on the board, we have a Savage Roar, that's already 8 damage coming somebody's way, so I'll pick the Kobold Geomancer. Okay, very good draw here. Dark Iron Dwarf, very good. It can, for example, you know, do, if your opponent puts down the Dark Iron Dwarf, like an empty one, for example, that would be a really bad play. But and you have a Geomancer on the board, you can buff the Geomancer to kill the Dark Iron Dwarf, and you get, you know, another Dark Iron Dwarf. So it's just a very good like trading control game minion, even though it's not used in constructed. It's just used in arena mostly and in zoo decks sometimes. Overall, very good minion. Okay, so about this point of the game, you want to start looking at your curve. Yes, we have not a lot of 3 drops. We only have 2 3 drops. But the most importantly, we only have 2 playable 2 drops. So that's what you want to look at. And I would normally pick the 4/2 if we would be earlier in the draft, or we would have more 2 drops. But because we don't have any 2 drops, man, let's pick the Power of the Wild. Those are 2 jokes of a card, so I have no choice and pick the Abomination. Here, Starfire naturally fits the curve. We have no 6 drops plus it deals 5 damage. It's an okay removal. Abyss of Surgeon, I already talked about. Wisp is a joke of a card. It's just not worth putting into your deck. it doesn't deserve a spot. Okay, this is pretty good. The War Golem is okay, 7 mana minion. So it's a 7/7 for 7, so it's okay when you don't have anything else to draft. Dark Iron Forge Rifleman, on the other hand, is still pretty bad. 2/2 for 3 mana. The deal 1 damage is never like game swinging, so you don't want to suffer, you know, playing a 2/2 minion for 3 mana. So a natural pick here is Senju Shield Master. It's a very good 3/5, easily one of the best 4 drops in the game. We have I would actually normally pick the Gnomish here because it gives you a 2/4 plus a card. We have some 2 drops, but that's still not enough. I just hope that I will get some in the last 8 cards. I think I will pick the Silverhand Knight here because it's just, you know, more late game card, and Druid just wants to get into late game before he gets overwhelmed and then kind of plays from there. We still need an Iron Bark, we're still missing that, but I'm gonna pick the Silverhand here. So, as I said, Soul of the Forest is not going to be value with this deck, I don't think. Nerobar Weblord suffers from the same issue as most other minions I talked about. It only has 1 attack for 2 mana, so even though it would be a 2/3 for 2 mana, that would be much better. So a natural pick here is a Savage Roar. The Savage Roar is actually not too good because we already have one. So naturally, we're gonna pick the Soul of the Forest. So, you know, because we already have some 2 drops and some 1 drops, when they die, you play the Soul of the Forest. You trade, and you're left with some 2/2 taunts. No, 2/2 trends. So I guess it will be okay. Okay, we get 2 jokes of a card. I don't play any Murlocs. Even if I would, I wouldn't count on the synergy. Bloodsail Corsair is a bad card. It's a 1/2 for 1 mana, so it's okay on that, but the Battle Cry is just not worth it. The Ravenhold is 7/5 for 7 mana. It's basically deal 7 damage for 7 mana. So if you can manage it, it can be a nice finisher. Excuse me, or it can it can trade 2 for 1 if you can manage it pretty well. So I'm gonna pick that. One of the best, easily one of the best, if not the best, 4-drop in the game. I put up against the guy who doesn't have enough value for me because I don't have a weapon, so it's never going to be charged. I'm just going to be a dead 1-drop, and I guess the Frostwolf, which wouldn't be bad in this deck, considering that I have, you know, some 2-drops, but because I don't have a lot of 2-drops, a lot of early games, this guy's actually not going to be that great. So I'm just going to pick Naturally Chillwind. Okay, again, Wisp, joke of a card. Mark of the Wild is not going to be value in this deck, so another Chillwind. Okay, we already have 1 Wild Growth, so I don't want to pack myself with Wild Growth, and another Claw is great addition. A 2/2 for 2 mana is a joke. I know I took it here, but spell damage actually does something to me, and this doesn't. I don't have any secrets, so Claw is just a great removal card. So I can take a bet on Innervate, and I can try to draw it early in the game, and maybe second turn do like a Innervate Yeti, which will be very lethal for the opponent. I might go for that, but we are naturally lacking some 3-drops, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Even though the Innervate would be okay if drawn early game, and Stormpike is a good removal, I'm still gonna go for the Jungle Panther to fit my curve. And I can't say no to Keeper of the Grove. Savagery, I've never seen anyone use this card. It's a shit card. Druid is the only class that has like the most unusable cards in the game, especially in the rare slot. Murloc Tidehunter is, as I said, a very bad minion for 1 mana. It is a pick sometimes, like when you have nothing else. For example, you put Savagery, Murloc Tidehunter, and like and Young Priestess. I would actually pick the Young Priestess over this, so I would I can't see an occasion when you would pick the Immortal Tidehunter, but I would definitely pick it over the Savagery. But the Keeper of the Grove is just a great. It is a silence plus it can be a removal of the early minions, so it's just a great removal. Okay, so this deck is not that good as I thought it would be. We have some late game, so I'm actually happy with that. But I didn't draw any Iron Barks. I have quite a lot of mid game minions, like 2 Yetis, Ascension Shieldmaster. So my guess is just I'm gonna have to spam my early minions, then try to play my mid minions without playing the late game. Play the Soul of the Forest, get the favorable trades, and then start going for the late game cards. I expect this deck to go 6 to 7 wins. I think that's what my prediction is. Because we do actually have a swipe, we do have 2 claws, so that will be the removal. Power of the White can be used for the 3/2 or to power up your minions. And Soul of the Forest will actually get some value as well. I think so. Keeper of the Grove is a great card. We only had 1 Druid of the Claw, but we also have some other 5 drops, so we should be good with that. So anyway, see you guys during our games, which are going to be played quite soon, I think. Maybe even tomorrow. So see you guys later. Peace on the streets.